Hey people, it's Amajot here with your self-love series, and today we're talking about body love and health. And I'm just trying to find somewhere that I've got so much stuff in the background, but never mind. So today I have on the lovely Sam Collison. Crap, Sam. I hope I didn't pronounce your name incorrectly. We've got the lovely Samantha here, and I'll introduce her in a minute, but I want to remind you guys that you can sign up to have a self-love chat to help me as part of my 2018 research project, and that is for me to have, I would like to have 300 conversations with you guys about self-love throughout the year, throughout 2018, because I'm curious, because I want to know why sometimes we're fantastic at self-love and what that means for you, and why sometimes we find it harder to practice self-love and self-love tools or ways of being, and see where that takes us. A few people have asked, what's the purpose of my project? Curiosity, really. I work with so many people who, sorry, I'm getting all these notifications. I work with people who, we talk about, self-kindness and self-care and compassion and being good to ourselves and being kind to ourselves, and it all encompasses, as far as I'm concerned, self-love. So what can we do to make our lives fuller, happier, more fun through self-love? So, and to celebrate that is my self-love live series, and I'm bringing people on to talk about self-love, and hopefully you'll find it useful. You can pop on and ask any questions you like, and we can take it from there. So I'm waiting for Sam to join. Hopefully she will be able to join. And I'm also going to just share this around in a few places. So if you haven't seen it, you can. Okay, so just checking it's all on at the same time. Oh, how are you today? If you're joining, say hello. How are you today? What's going on with you? Did you know also it's the International Day for Self-Love? I did not know this until this morning. I'm using my keyboard and it's not. Okay, so let's share it on my timeline. Hopefully Sam sees it. And we'll just wait for her to join. Otherwise, it will just be me and you. Me and all of you. We'll still do it. I know I will keep using my keyboard and it's not plugged in. It's what happens when you have habits and then you so start in a minute. What does hey, Sam's on now. I was beginning to think you weren't coming, Sam. Hey Sam, I'll add you in a second. If anybody else is joining, say hello. I'm just sharing it in the groups, Sam. I was like, is she coming? Has she remembered? Okay, so let's add you in. There we go. And yes, did you know it was the International Day of Self-Love today? I didn't know this. I think it's more in America. An American coach that I got a newsletter from told me, she told me in the letter, hey Sam, how are you?
Hello.
I was like, has she forgotten? Is she coming? I had a little mild panic.
No, I was there and I was trying to find you for some reason. Facebook was playing up, so I was here.
Cool. I know it does play up, and I've done some of these, and it's like all over the shop, but we get there. We get there in the end. I don't give up, so I just wait or I carry on by myself. Hello and welcome. We haven't done a live together, but we kind of know each other from the online world, and I know you do some lovely work with some lovely women around body empowerment and your hypnotherapy as well. So I thought it was a perfect and
today is self-love day.
I know.
So
Did you know that? Yeah, I didn't know that. I was like, what? I got this. I was just saying before you came on. I was like, I got this email from a coach that I follow. She's American and she's lovely. And she's like, it's the International Day of Self-Love. I'm like, what? Right. I have to post about this. And I found this gorgeous infographic about not being hard on yourself, and it's amazing because that's the other thing about like self-love, isn't it? It's like we can. Or the kind of opposite end of self-love is being hard on yourself. It's like the complete opposite. If you think of that, if you think of, you on a scale or on a rope, whatever you want to put yourself on, and self-love being, on one side and being hard on yourself being on the other, like it's a scale, isn't it? And
absolutely.
How we are with ourselves. And I certainly resonated with so many things on that infographic, it was so funny. So
I think we all can.
And that's the thing, we're all human, we can like see people, and I think that's the thing about the online world. We can see people, we can see them on the outside, and we can say, man, she's amazing or he's amazing and they're brilliant, but we can't always see it for ourselves, in ourselves. So so it's an interesting one. But today I would love to talk to you about, I'd love for you to introduce yourself as well, and also then have a few questions for you about, like body love, massive topic for me, has been all my life, and of course health as well, which is also massive for me as well. So would you like to kick off by introducing yourself? Who are you?
Yes. Well, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Samantha Collison. I'm a body empowerment coach and hypnotherapist, and I basically work with women to help them truly get to love themselves unapologetically, but from within. So very much what you're talking about with the external. We're so focused on kind of the external, like what others will think, and and that affects the way we behave and the way we treat ourselves. It affects the way we talk to ourselves. And I kind of work with my mindset tools and self-love to kind of really kind of get to the bottom of the limited beliefs of maybe past experiences, things that we've experienced in our lives that kind of we've unconsciously not realized that we're kind of holding ourselves back, and we've taken things as gospel, and we're just kind of living our lives kind of unconsciously, but without conscious effort to kind of tap back into the real us and actually accept who we are, and to really do like love ourselves unapologetically without just kind of like the whole I'm just going to love myself and have a bath and I'm going to have my nails done and things like that. That's very external. What I do when I work with women one-to-one and in groups, and I do lots of workshops now, is just kind of really getting to the core reason why, and then addressing that so that we can take action and just kind of empower women to just feel embraced in their body and changing their relationship around how they see themselves and their relationship with food, which is really crucial.
Yeah.
And that's really what I do in a nutshell.
Wow. And this is the thing, isn't it? It's like food. Food is such a thing. Like, I know sometimes if I'm feeling stressed, I will eat how I'm feeling. Like, literally, it's like, although
Yeah.
my eating habits have changed a lot since I went through my illness, and I really had to completely change my outlook on my health. Like, it just wasn't a choice. I completely just learned to, cook from fresh and cut out the processed food and all of that stuff. And that's not to say that I think the most processed food I eat now is crisps, because crisps,
Yeah.
you kind of have to. So, or you don't, but
Still have
I tell
cravings.
myself that they're
I
okay.
think. Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's kind of like that, consciously choosing, like, hey Jen, how you doing? How you doing, gorgeous
Hello.
girl? And I was just talking about eating my emotions. And sometimes I know I can feel it. I'm like, I need to go and eat something. And actually, I'm not hungry. And it's consciously
Yeah.
choosing. It's like, do I just actually just want this right now? Because I know I'm feeling a little bit crap. Maybe guilt comes into it sometimes. Maybe it's stress, and
Yeah.
then I just want to eat. And oh, good, I'm glad you're great, Jen. It's nice to see you,
Me
nice to have you on
too.
here. And it's and I think it's it's that conscious awareness. Like, I know I still do it. I know I've changed a lot of my
Yeah.
habits, a lot of my eating stuff. Yes, Jen, it's
Yeah.
so me. And
I think as well, it's about taking that pressure off ourselves, because that's something I still do. Like, there's no pretending that we're all perfect here, because I don't think, like, that's the problem. This is the problem, the expectation that we've got for ourselves. And it's not saying that don't sort of have a high expectation for yourself, because yeah, you absolutely must, but then that's not to say give yourself permission to kind of feel really bad about, how you've just eaten a chocolate cake and you feel like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that. And that's kind of what I'm about, kind of transforming that kind of that guilt and that shame that's like kind of connected to those choices that we make, and actually just kind of, almost like having that cake and enjoying it and having it mindfully and just going, do you know what? I want that. I'm having it. Who gives a shit?
exactly, and that's what I really, Jen, I love all your hearts. I love you. And she's hearting all over the place. And yeah, it's always chocolate. For me, it's crisps, and I eat like really cool.
Chocolate
I
as
eat really cool
well.
chocolate like this. Look, it's on the table
Ah,
even. Like,
nice.
it's like, it's vegan. It's like the best sugar you can get, like coconut blossom sugar. But the fact is,
Yeah.
it's still
Love
chocolate. Like,
that.
it's all right to say
Yeah.
I still eat
Yeah.
chocolate. Like, I used to say, I'm having a
Yeah.
bar of vegan chocolate. It's still fucking chocolate. Like, it's okay. And
But
it's good
do you know
chocolate.
what, as well? It's the reason why we are programmed to think this. It's not our fault, right? It's diet industries that are giving us the message: good food, bad food, you shouldn't eat that, you should eat that. And so all our lives, and even as our upbringings and things like that, we're being kind of, you can have a treat after your dinner if you're a good girl. And, there's no fault of that. That's
Yes.
always done through love. Food is always given through love, especially in my family. It was always given as a treat, as a reward. So naturally, I'm working with women that predominantly kind of like are feeling so kind of let down by their choices that they make. And I'm like, girl, we need to change this, we really do need to change the way we kind of see
Yeah.
ourselves and our
I
choices, definitely.
absolutely love that. I love that. And Jen says, I agree, Samantha, less guilt, shame and judgment. you know, it's so funny. This guilt is such a mofo. Like, it will make you do
Yeah.
things that you don't want to
Mm-hmm.
do. And, you know, and she's saying, yes, that's good. And good and bad, endless cycle has to be broken. Exactly. It's like the what is good, there is no, it's
Yes.
awareness.
Yeah.
Like, what am I choosing
Mm.
in this moment for my health, for my body?
Yeah.
What am I choosing? End of. And it's okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm having a takeout tonight. I rarely eat takeout now
Yeah.
because actually there's not much stuff that I can have that has dairy in it because I don't
Yeah,
want to eat crap
girl.
food. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
But I will go to my chippy because I know that they're so good with their dairy free stuff. Like, there's certain things I can have, there's
Yeah.
certain things I can't, and I trust them. So
Yeah.
I'll have it. And it's like,
Yeah.
I'm having it.
Yeah.
End of. Like, chips are my downfall. My friends know this and my family know this about me. Chips are my downfall. I rarely share my chips. But you know, it's okay. It's like,
Don't touch the
don't touch
chips.
my chips. And it's okay. And I think it's choosing, it's awareness, it's grounding. Jen, I'd love to hear your thoughts in terms of like, how do you've said that you kind of, you know, you said it's chocolate. What else comes up for you with your choices? I own my chocolate. Damn right, woman. Own your chocolate.
Love that.
This is gonna end up being such a long
Love
live stream,
that.
isn't it? So what's your
Mine.
favorite chocolate, Jen? So Sam, tell me more around like, how do we enforce or practice? Enforce sounds kind of quite forced, but how do we practice self-love in a loving way? Because I've heard, you know, people say, if I say to somebody, I can look in the mirror now and say I love you, and I can look in the mirror and say, I'm sorry I said that to you, I'm a job, and they're like,
Yeah.
weirdo. And it's like, what would you say to people who kind of, how can we practice self-love in a loving way, or in a way that doesn't feel icky or narcissistic, which is a word that comes up a lot when you hear the word self-love in the same
Yeah.
breath.
Yeah. For me, when I'm working with my clients, it's all about kind of tapping into why it's coming up in the first place is a really important one, because if you can address why you feel that certain way, what's told you that, who's told you that, kind of where's that information come from for a start, because I believe that with knowledge then we have the power to actually make choices in our life. So it's without knowledge that we feel that we are lacking control of kind of loving ourselves and kind of just accepting ourselves. And a lot of it comes from external
Mm.
influences, external, our family, our upbringing, our background, our friends, even sometimes our closest friends, because they've known us for so long. And if we're trying to kind of better ourselves and kind of feel good about ourselves, sometimes we have these challenges that are kind of in our way. And the thing that I would say is just it's never a kind of done deal that, oh yeah, I love myself, I'm fine now, I can kind of constantly look in the mirror, because I think sometimes life throws challenges at us and something might happen, trauma experience, or someone losing a loved one or something as an example, and that can completely throw you off track, focusing on like yourself and how you see yourself. But definitely I would say kind of challenging those thinking patterns that you've got for a start, obviously. So first one is recognizing where it's coming from, what's kind of coming up for you. But the second one is challenging those thoughts that are coming up for you. So if you're saying things to yourself like, I look disgusting, for instance, like you're looking in the mirror and you're thinking, oh my God, I look disgusting. This is something that's come up for me, for a lot of clients, something I used to naturally sort of say to myself in my head.
Mm.
I'd never admit it to anybody though. I would never, from the outside, you saw the bubbly, confident Sam that had her shit together. But from the inside, I was being completely cruel to myself. And this is my big why of why I do this, because it means so much and it gets me a bit emotional when I speak about it. But it is about kind of tapping into, like, kind of, you know, what the challenging the thinking and the language that you're using, and then kind of like asking yourself, how is it that I want to feel? How is it that I want to show up in the world? How is it that, you know, I want to feel inside? And kind of, I find like affirmations really transformational. Affirmations, if you attach an emotion to an affirmation, now not just do an affirmation and go, yeah, that's a really lovely saying.
Yeah.
Say it and write it. I record mine so that I listen to it in the car. And I really feel into it. And sometimes that's emotional. I have tears coming down my eyes because I'm just like, wow, I'm coming through so far, and I'm sharing that love and that message for others to be able to do that, because that's what's going to get the breakthrough. The daily actions of tapping into and challenging your thinking and your language, and those affirmations and that visualization of how you want to feel and start acting from that place is the key to just tapping into that self-love, and actually then becoming to a place where you actually own it and feel it and really don't give a shit about what anybody else thinks. And that's where I feel that I've come through today, but through a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, a lot of like kind of worrying about what I looked like, worried about kind of, you know, I wasn't the perfect size, who was I to help people that wanted to lose weight. All of that was coming up for me until I realized that it was more about, for me, it was more about self-acceptance and self-love, because I knew that once I tapped into that with my clients, then naturally they started losing weight, because they weren't no longer trying to beat themselves up with food because they didn't think they was unworthy of having, you know, the nutritious, good, whole foods that, and, you know, treating themselves with body and putting like, you know, nutritious foods and kind of going, do you know what, I am worth this.
So in love with you right now. Like, you know, it's like, and Jen says, I love this, Samantha. This is pure truth right here. And I have full body goosebumps. Like, absolutely spot on. It's like, it's all linked, isn't it? And it's, you know, and Jen's like, thinking and language equals powerful. Like, you know, it is. It's the thoughts. It's what we're saying. It's what we're saying to ourselves, those words.
Yeah.
And if we can't say I love you, then how can we expect somebody else to say I love you? If we can't look at ourselves and our body exactly as it is in its natural form, then how can we want anything else from it? How can we ask somebody else to accept that body?
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's like, sorry, I have to see this comment about Jen's chocolate. I went for dark chocolate to be on the healthy side, but my favorite is white chocolate when I'm a bad girl. But interesting language, Jen, when you're a bad girl. So, and you know what really resonates for me, because that's my big why as well, is what you said about how you felt on the inside. Because for a lot of my life, pretty much most of it, I went through this kind of being that where my outside did not match my inside. And it was like I wore a mask every day. And
it feels like you're in a prison as well, doesn't it? Because you're just screaming to kind of like get out. And you know, for me, like, I know, like, you know, me being true to myself is me being geeky, me being like quirky, me like kind of laughing a lot, me just all of that. And there was this element of me that was just like, oh, but I need to be professional, and I need to do this, and I need to look like this, and I need to, if I'm helping people with weight loss, then I need to be a size 10. And all that is BS that we create in our minds. And then when I just thought, hang on a minute, the mission is much bigger than what I am, so I'm going to keep doing it.
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's so important. I mean, your words are so powerful. Like, your work is needed for sure. And I think it's for anybody who thinks that we have to put a mask on. I love makeup. nice clothes, jewelries, accessories. I did this post a few weeks ago where I forgot to put my ring, I think I forgot to put any jewelry on, and I went back in the house. I would have been late potentially for my conference, and I went back in the house.
I think I
Yeah, and
saw
I went
that.
back in the
Yeah, what
house
was
to
the
get
one
it,
thing
and I
you
was like,
would?
because
Yeah,
I love it, and sometimes it is my armor. Like sometimes that's
yeah.
that's fucking okay. You know, if something makes you
Mm.
feel good, that's okay. Who is anybody to tell you if it feels good? Like I know I get a lot of friends like asking like how does this look, and and I know I have a natural talent to pick out sometimes expensive, pretty much always expensive, but good jewelry, good accessories, good clothes, and and it's like if you feel good in it, wear it. Who gives a crap about
Yes,
trends and fashion and all of that if
totally.
you feel good? And the thing is, you could be wearing
Mm.
the best thing that's on trend. You could be eating the
Yeah,
best salads and all of that. But again, if you feel crap inside,
yeah,
something about you is not gonna it's gonna come across in the way you are, in the way you are with your relationships, in the way you are with your relationship with yourself. And
totally. My relationship completely has transformed the way I am with as a wife, as a as a mum to my children. And also another thing that I really think that's massively important about self-love is so many people, women especially, kind of feel that if they put themselves first, that they're being selfish. Mm-mm.
yes, yes.
That used to be me. I used to think there's no way that I can spend an hour on myself in the morning, putting myself first, like having a really nice shower, putting some makeup on, maybe doing a bit of meditating, visualizing, all of that jazz that I absolutely love, that I do not without fail. I used to think, no, I can't do that, and I have to put my children first. I have to put, but guess what actually happened at that stage of my life when I believed that that was the key, and that's kind of like how my mum was brought up us, and she is very, very loving, very, very giving. But guess what? She was depressed, and I was depressed. We were so depressed because we were not valuing our needs. We were not valuing what was important to us. And now it's just completely different. Like my boys normally say to me, Mum, is it 7:30 yet? Meaning, is it my time yet for me to get ready or help,
Oh,
all of that. And I think it's important for us as women, as leaders, to be that role model for our children, for our tribe, for our husbands, whoever that we're with, friends, family, to kind of show them that it's not selfish, because actually what actually happens is people get so much more from me because I've put myself first. And that 1 hour maybe in that morning that I've taken to really look after myself, I give so much. But what actually was happening before was when I didn't put myself first, didn't sometimes think, oh, do I fancy having a shower? Do I fancy, oh no, I'll just scuff my hair up. I'm fine in, whatever I can find. And it was just kind of, but then I gave not much because I wasn't feeling that. I wasn't feeling that self-love inside, that self-worth, that
mm,
self-belief for myself. So, I challenge anyone that says to me, and it has happened many a times, people say, no, no, no. And I'm like, that's fine. If that's your belief, that's fine. But let me explain mine and the reasons why, because I've been through that and I've seen the transformation. And that is what I help women with, because they come to me and think, oh my God, I can't possibly spend half an hour to myself. And it's like, you absolutely can, and you must.
yeah, yeah. Oh, thank you so much. And like, it's evidence, isn't it? And it's filling your own. It's the whole
Yeah.
airline. Putting on your own oxygen mask before you put on anybody else's.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
if
Yes.
you can't, if
Yes.
you're not breathing, If you're not filling
Yeah.
yourself up, then you can be helping anybody you want. It is not going to make a difference. Oh, bye, Jen. Thanks for
Absolutely.
joining. Loving all your hearts. Thank you. Yeah, it's a
Yay!
brilliant conversation. So
Lovely seeing you,
needed.
Jen.
And thanks for your contribution. And I know there's some other ladies watching. Say hello. Let us know what you're thinking of the
Hi, Tara.
conversation.
I think Tara
Hi,
us.
Tara. Hi, Kelty. Hi, Smith. You know, like say hello, and they run off. As soon as I ask people to comment, it's okay. It's okay. You can watch back later. So you have to put your own oxygen mask on first.
Totally.
Because I find that if we can't, hey Kelty, love this conversation. It's so needed.
Okay,
Kelty's like, I have had the best self-love conversation with Kelty. She is like the one of the best success stories about self-love. I'm going to be writing about her, and we're going to be talking to her as well. And because you know, I love these stories. This is why I do this, because I can share my examples and what I know, and I can share my learnings, and I can give people tools, and we can coach and all of that stuff. But you know what? When you see, it's true, Kelty, when you see people like yourself who've made a difference to your life, but you've not only made a difference to your life, you've made a difference to your husband's life, to your children's life. You're
yeah.
teaching the men in your life, because you've got 2 boys, haven't you? Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
teaching the men in your life that this is how I will be treated, and this is how I respect myself, and therefore this is how you respect me. And
Yeah.
that's how they will then go on to respect other women, because that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
We need to, you know, although we may
Yeah.
have experienced some not so great stuff, and I know a lot of us
Yeah.
have an opinion or an experience of the Me Too conversation, we can change that now. We can like educate ourselves and the people around us around what we want, but that has to start with us.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking then, what if it starts with us, and it starts with you know, putting yourself first, and that sort of thing. What could you suggest to somebody? Like I know when we had this first chat with Erin, my coach, a couple of weeks ago, we ended up talking about permission. Like, and you know, what do I need to give myself permission for? Because sometimes we're waiting for other people to give us permission to do something, be someone, wear something, whatever it might be. And
Yeah.
that's always a really powerful one for me, even at the beginning of the week. You know, what do I need to give myself permission for this week? But
Yeah.
what would you say about you know, if what are some things that people could do, or maybe that you do already yourself? I know you've talked somewhat about your mindset work, your meditation. You know,
Mm.
what could you if somebody was asking, like, okay, well, how do I do this? How do I give myself more
Yeah.
self-love?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I tapped on already with the affirmations. I'm feeling into them. Visualization, like visualizing yourself, like how you want to feel, how you want to look, the clothes you'd want to wear, you know, how you'd want to show up, you know, and it comes down to things like what are your boundaries,
Mm.
what are your values, and these are really, really important, because this is when you start actually honoring your self love. You actually start showing others, you know, that it's important for you to honor your boundaries by, you know, saying no if things are not fitting in with you. This can be quite challenging sometimes with family members. I know I've had to experience a lot of resistance around this, because I'm a natural healer. I give, I love, I share, I want to give so much. But then what actually happens is burnout. And so you end up feeling exhausted, and you end up feeling so much more less self-love for yourself, because you haven't honored those boundaries and your values, and like your key principles, if you like. You know, I have like which I found a really powerful tool, is like a personal mission statement. So things that I stand for, you know, and in that mission statement, it has got my goals and my boundaries and what I accept and what I don't accept. And so any decision that I make in my life, I kind of just refer back to that mission statement and think, is that in line with that? Is that going to move me forward? Is that going to serve others in a powerful way? Is that going to make me feel good? And all of those questions. And if they're all answered a yes, it's a hell yes. You know, I always say to people, if it's not a hell yes, it's a no.
Absolutely.
Full stop.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
so I would definitely say that that's another one, as well as you got your affirmations and your visualization, as in you're visualizing, you know, future self, but looking at the boundaries and the values and honoring those and just practicing, stretching that muscle a little bit and kind of just kind of really kind of yeah, just honoring your needs and your worth and your values and just kind of using that in a daily day, just little by little can, you know, transform in such a big way, which it has definitely for me. So yeah, definitely.
And I really love what you said about the mission statement and referring back to it. And what sort of things, if someone's never tried that before, or you know, they're like, where would I start? Like, what sort of things? Have you got any examples of what you would have on yours?
First of all, I got this from the 7 Habits of Successful People by Stephen
Covey.
Foyer.
Is it Stephen
Yeah, that's
Covey?
it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, for me, I read the book. No, I listened to the Audible first.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, why have I not done this? I'd had my little values and I, you know, kind of when I started my business, I was like, these are my values. These are like, you know, I had a little bit kind of like there, but I didn't have a solid, personal mission statement, which kind of did all the 4 areas of like, you know, my personal, so like my personal growth, meaning my health and my kind of you know, my learning, and then you've got like the relationships, like with my family and my friends, and you've got like your business goals and all of that, and I put them into, it wasn't like a something that I just done and thought, oh, there's my mission statement for like an overall. It was over time that I just kind of added bits to it and really tweaked it, but it was from that book that I got the idea from, and it's amazing because I have it in my bedroom up so that it's there when I first see it in the morning, so it's just like a constant reminder of everything that you know, to it helps me with decisions quickly, so I procrastinate less. It helps me to honor myself and kind of tap into, am I treating myself well? Am I honoring my needs? Am I loving myself here? Am I, you know, showing love to others? Am I serving? You know, am I doing all the things that I've been put on this earth to do? And it's really kind of, yeah, it's been amazing. It's a lovely experience as well to do that. So that's where I got the idea from. But yeah, I'm happy to you know, kind of share some ideas. I haven't got it with me at the moment, but it's so in depth and detailed. But to kind of give others a kind of, and anyway, I think it's personal to you. It's what you want out of life. It's what works for you, which is really, really good.
Yeah, it is, and that's a lovely idea, and it is, and I think it's there are so many ways, like, you know, it's about, I always say it's about finding your own way. Like, I can give people a tool or a technique, but you know what, it's like, do what works for you, you know. And if you feel stuck with something, if you feel like you want to develop that health aspect of yourself, or you know, you want to improve your body image in terms of what your image is of your body and your perception, then find something that works for you. Like, it took me ages to, and I knew this for a long time, but it took me ages to actually do something about it, which was that I don't like using the gym. I used the gym for years, and there were times.
You're so lucky. I do not like the gym, but I love gym classes.
Same.
I love going to classes.
Same.
At the gym,
Yeah.
But get me going to the gym, and I only do it if I'm following a program. Like when I've had personal trainers, I've
Yeah,
gone and it's a one-to-one,
yeah.
and I don't mind that, but I don't love
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And I think because I used to always want to be losing another 3 kilos, like always. Like there was always another three
Mm,
kilos to lose. And so I
yeah,
was always, and I guess, I don't know where it came from, but it was kind of like you have to go to the gym. And it was a corporate thing, and you'd always have a corporate gym membership and, and all of this stuff. And it was like, I don't like going to the gym. I like walking.
yeah,
And now it's like, I think it was over a year ago now, I just ended my gym membership because like you, I was loving the classes. I
yeah,
love dancing. So I would go to any Zumba class I could go to. I go to a Zumba class
yeah,
anyway. That's not part of a gym. And I was like, why am I wasting money on gym membership when I can choose my
yeah,
exercise? And, and it's
totally.
because it's constantly changing what my body needs for itself as well. So sometimes it needs the cardio, sometimes it doesn't. Like, depending on where I
Yeah,
am in my menstrual cycle and where I am in the month, it's like I've learned
yeah,
to not push
yeah,
myself when I'm
yeah,
about to start my period. Like, I don't need to. I
yeah,
don't need to like kill
yeah.
myself at the gym
No.
when I'm doing that. Like, my body does not. And there were times that I used to travel so much, and I would get off the plane and I'd be back in time for like a 6 o'clock cardio workout. It's like, what the hell?
Wow.
And it was killing me because it was. And you know what, our bodies are so resilient, they will take pretty much anything we throw at it until our body has enough and it says, I'm not taking this anymore. You
Yeah,
cannot mess with your body because it will get to that point where it will make you stop, which is what mine
yeah,
did. It did that. And now I know I have all of my kind of strategies and ways of knowing myself that I have in place that
yeah,
anybody can do that. They are easy
yeah,
ways. Anybody can do that. And that's why I'm saying, like, find your own way. Don't, follow your
mm.
way. If you love the gym, love the gym. Fine, great, use it.
Yeah. And also as well, like I give the advice as well, like don't do exercise just for what exercise can give you. Do exercise because, you feel liberated to move your body. You feel proud of what it can do. You're alive. Your heart is beating. You're just like on fire. So choose something that is going to excite you and just be like, boom. And I'm
Absolutely.
Marina. Thanks for joining.
Hey, Maria. I can't see everybody who's joining on mine because they're not.
I can hear, yeah, sometimes they're popping up.
Yeah, I think it's just because they're not on my Facebook
Yeah.
page, so I can't always see who's joining. Um,
Okay.
but that's cool. Hello. Say hello,
Hello.
join us, ask any questions, share your experiences about health and body love. I was going to say body health, all the same thing. Body love
Yeah.
and health. What does it mean to you? How do you express yours? How do you practice body love? Like, what is a practice of body
Yeah.
love? And I think, what is a practice of body love for you? What does that mean for you?
Um, it's the inner game, isn't it? The practice of body love for me is the inner game. So it's what's my mindset like? How am I feeling about myself? What's my language like to myself?
Hmm.
How am I showing up? How am I kind of letting some boundaries go, or am I letting some, am I, like you say, eating my emotions? That's a big one. That is a massive one. Sometimes when you've got something going on and you can't quite grasp what it is, and it's so easy to just grab something quick and go, do you know what, I'm just going to eat it
And it's
anyway,
like
and I did
stuffing
this
it.
the other
Yeah.
day. And I had to kind of stop myself midway through, and I thought, hang on a minute, what's going on for me here? Like, what's up? What's up? And it turned out it was something little, like, well, it's obviously not little because I'm still overeating, but I was anxious about something. I
Mm.
was anxious, and I was worried about, what was coming up, and, never worry about kind of what's happening in the future. All that matters is what's happening in this very present moment.
Hmm.
That's all that you can control. And that's what I think I remind myself, that I'm alive, I'm present, I'm in the moment. I can choose again and again and again and again every single day. And I'm learning and growing, not like belittling myself if I kind of, don't get something right, or I haven't made the right choice in my foods. Like you say, at the different times of your menstrual cycle, God, like 2 weeks, I'm like, boom, I'm on top fire, way to go, eating so healthy, salads, I plan my meals, I'm like,
Yeah.
like,
Bring
good.
it. Yeah.
And then those 2 weeks, and I'm just like, oh my God, hormones everywhere, like, kind of, don't mess with me, I need my chocolate, like, I'm not exercising, I don't want to do anything. And that is still self-love. That's what I want the message to get out to people, that is still self-love,
Yes.
not kind of thinking to yourself, oh, I've overeaten and I've not, not done well and I've let myself down. You have not let yourself down. It's just bloody food.
Exactly. And it's that what that reminds me of is kind of it's like that cycle. It's not linear. It's not you do something and then there's a consequence, and okay, there is, but then there's also and then there's thinking something and then doing it. It kind of comes back on itself. It's like your actions do not determine your thoughts, and your thoughts do not determine your actions. And some people would disagree with that, but actually, because you could be thinking, well, yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna eat healthy and I'm gonna have this amazing month and I'm gonna do all of this, but then you don't act it. So your thoughts aren't resulting in your action.
And also, I swear, when you get a situation like that, this is something that I found really powerful with when I've been working with my clients, is when your actions is not speaking louder than your thoughts. So say, for instance, you're saying, right, it's a Monday and I'm going to eat really healthy, and you tell yourself pretty much that for the last couple of months. Monday seems to be the day when everyone's trying to get their shit together, and it's like,
Mondays are anxious days. They're intense days, Mondays.
Exactly. So if your actions is not speaking louder than your thoughts, like your vision and your why, you've got to tap into that big why. Why is it important to you? What is the consequences of you not doing the thing that you say you want to do? Ask yourself that. Okay, so if I carry on overeating, binge eating, how am I going to feel? I'm going to feel pretty crap. Okay, and then I'm going to probably put on a few pounds, and then I'm going to even beat myself up even more. Is that how I want to proceed? Is that me showing myself love? No, it's not. So how can I just make a small little change? Okay, right, if my expectations right up here, can I lower it a bit and just go, for today only, I'm going to drink more water. Today, this is all I'm going to focus on, is more water. If I don't do anything else, I have succeeded, that I've drunk my water, and I'm like, boom, that is one. And then start by, setting those little tangible goals, and that is what becomes, the habits that are unconscious. And and also, I know I'm sounding biased, but hypnotherapy is so powerful for that, because you can say something on a conscious level and you can want it and with all your might, but you can still not take action on it. Whereas with hypnotherapy, it's really tapping into that subconscious part of your brain that kind of is almost trying to keep you safe and trying to stop you from kind of changing something, because you're stretching out of your comfort zone, you're stretching out of what you're normally used to, and it's trying to kind of say, no, I don't think that's the best bet, because look what happened before, and that can keep you stuck. So hypnotherapy is really powerful for tapping into that subconscious, so that both the subconscious and the conscious is in par with each other, so that you do things by autopilot naturally without overthinking it.
Cool. That's cool. And I'm sure people can get in touch with you if they are interested in hypnotherapy. I've always found it fascinating. I've not experienced it myself yet, but I do think it's fascinating.
I love it.
Yeah, I probably will. There's probably stuff in there that needs aligning. So body love and health. What else might you want to say to people? Actually, I've got a question for you. What So if we,
Yeah, go for
so
it.
what are your, if we're thinking about around the topic of self-love, like what are, and you've talked about some of your self-love practices, you know, the meditation, the you know, affirmations that I have to do it this way, and the your mission statement, and making sure you carve that time out for yourself.
Yeah.
Are there any others, firstly? That, yeah, you know, what other
Um,
self-love practices do you have?
I do the power affirmations in the mirror. So something that I used to find really difficult is looking in the mirror naked and truly loving what I see. Most women struggle with
Mm,
that.
mm,
They're quick to look at all the kind of bumps and the, you know, anything that's there thinking is not the right way, or they kind of look at themselves and go, oh my god. And it took me a long time to actually be able to stand in front of the mirror with my hands on my hips in a right up power pose, standing up straight and saying, I love everything that my body has been able to do. So I've had two gorgeous children. I have stretch marks to prove that, and I love that about my body and my curves and how my body's changed up and down, and how I've you know kind of fought through challenges and triumphs in life and still managed to stand proud, which is kind of like my stand proud with love. But this is all about my messaging, because you know there's still so many of us that are struggling with that. So the power pose in the mirror naked is another tool that I use daily, that it took me forever, to kind of tap into that. But journaling is massively a big part of my life. Journaling things like kind of all the things that I'm truly grateful for. Gratitude is a massive, massive part of my life, but also what are the things that I love about myself.
mm,
And I would choose three things every single day and try to have something different. So it's not necessarily just a physical thing. It can be, I love that I don't take myself too seriously, or I love that, for me, I put things like, I love that I don't take myself too seriously. I love my curly hair. I used to not like it when I was younger. I love the fact that I speak my voice and that I share the love and people can feel that energy within. I love the fact that I'm kind. I've got a good soul. All of these things, and you keep tapping into them and write them down, and there is your evidence for when days when you're feeling like you're having a crap day, that you can tap into. Actually, these are all the things that I actually have said that I love about
mm.
myself. Tap into those, and that is a really powerful thing to do.
Yeah. Oh, Kelty also loves
And
your curly
so,
hair. I love your curly hair as well. I love your fringe. Got so much. She's got so
yeah,
much
I just
fringe. I'm
literally,
jealous. I've got only a
it's
little
mad
bit.
though, isn't it? When you're younger, you kind of just think, oh,
Oh
and then now people are like, oh, is it permed? I'm like, oh,
no, it's
no, just
mine.
flip it upside
It's
down and
mine.
stick a bit of mousse, and I'm
Exactly, isn't it, and I think that does change. Like, we start to appreciate ourselves more with age as well, I think, definitely. And it's funny
yeah,
because my body's been through surgery, it's, you know, it's been through stuff, it's got scars on it, you know, and it's so funny. I love it now more than I ever did when I was like a size 8 to 10, and you know, and it
yeah,
was flawless and all of that stuff. It's hilarious because
yeah,
that's the time when I
yeah,
couldn't look at myself, and I would see a photo of myself,
yeah.
look at those fat arms, and look at this, and look at that, and look at that, and it's the first thing I do. And
Oh,
sometimes that still pops out.
yeah,
I
yeah,
can always be more toned. Always. That's fact.
yeah.
And
And it
that's
comes
in
with time
addition
as
to,
well, doesn't
yeah,
it?
it's,
Sometimes you go, oh God,
and that's
you
okay,
know.
because I know I also accept myself. I like myself as I am. And then it's always wanting more is okay too. So it's always wanting more, always
Totally.
wanting to be healthy. I'll always want to be healthy. And it's like, if I'm doing something that isn't healthy, and if that is because something feels wobbly, that doesn't feel healthy to me. And that's okay. You know, it's like, it's
Yeah.
individual. But that doesn't mean that I hate
It's on
myself.
those feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely honouring those feelings that are coming up. And, you know, it's all right about, you know, people have said to me before, but what if I'm honouring those feelings and I'm just giving myself permission to, you know, kind of like, you know, keep doing that behaviour? And it's like, well, no, because there's a difference between common sense and kind of looking at honouring the feelings, and as if looking at the situation that you're in, and what's going on for you, and have you had a lot on, and have you had more pressure, and all of those things, because we can just keep adding and adding and adding, and that burnout is no good for anybody.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And
You know?
I think that works for anything. Like, we give ourselves a hard time. It goes back to that infographic that I've posted anywhere on social media about, you know, not giving yourself a hard time. Like, that's ultimately what it is. What we said at the start about this scale of self-love versus hard time, you know, critic. I know you can't see
Yeah,
my hand, but, you know, and
I think sometimes we've been programmed to think that, like, if we're not working hard enough, or if we're not, you know, like hustling or keep going, or when, you know, we're not doing everything like a perfect mum should be, or a perfect wife. I mean, you know, all of those things, you know, no wonder we have these thoughts of, you know, that we're not enough, or that we don't believe in ourselves, or that we don't love ourselves, because we have our like experiences to tell us otherwise. And it's like, who is making that up? It's normally
yeah,
us.
yeah.
We are the ones making that
Or
up,
yeah,
you
and all
know?
following society's rules, like, you know, or if I don't have children yet, or I'm not married yet, you know, or I'm not in a relationship, then I'm not enough, and
Yeah,
I'm doing something wrong, and I have to change my body, or I have to change, you know, me, or, you know, I have to look a certain way, or be a certain way, or act a certain way, because I haven't done those things yet. And it's just, it's not about that. It's
yeah,
about, you know, finding that you, that real you.
yeah. That's like, you know, as well, like I come back to, you know, with helping people to lose weight, it's never about the end result of just when you get to a certain ideal weight, because I've got people coming to me that are slim and that are so unhappy about with themselves because of how they feel about
Yeah.
themselves. And it's like, so don't waste your life away kind of wishing and kind of hoping. Instead, you know, start acting and visualizing from that place today, and start owning that from within, and not just thinking like externally, kind of doing my nails and doing my hair and all of that. That is great, and that's all part of the self-love. But for me, it's more internal. It's more, you know, kind of looking at deeper, and getting raw and open and being vulnerable is self-love, I feel, because it's showing others, you know, what's possible for them, and how, you know, how they're feeling is normal, and to kind of be more having those open conversations with people, so that they don't feel that, one, they're alone, and they don't feel that, you know, that they can continue to feel that negative energy and that those negative thoughts about themselves, because no one ever deserves that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's, and I think that will never change. Well, Kelty, I didn't get that. The 11111. Or was that supposed to be something? I don't know. I don't know what that is, Kelty. Um, or was that a
That
slip?
angel number.
Yeah, exactly. Or was it a slip of the phone? Did the phone fall out of your hand and you ended up pressing that? Or is it angel numbers? Um,
Or the children got it. If they've got, I don't know if you've got children, but
um, and yeah, and I think it's I've lost that. I think I've lost what I was going to say, because I just saw the ones. Um, it's a topic that we could talk about forever, pretty much,
oh
as all of this stuff
yes,
is. It really is. And I think it's, if, what's the parting? Kelty said my phone is being weird. I'm on the treadmill. I love that. I love that
go
you're listening to that while
girl,
you're on the treadmill. Yeah, so
go Kelsey. Love them.
what it is a continuous journey, this topic, for everybody.
Yes.
Like, everybody all the time, and us personally. It's such a personal journey. It's something that we sometimes choose to share with people if we are feeling vulnerable. It's sometimes, like you
Yeah.
said, we don't, you know, nobody knows how we're feeling sometimes. I certainly, you know,
Yeah.
have never necessarily been good at being open with stuff about how my insides don't match my outsides, and it's easier to put
Yeah.
that mask on sometimes. I think Glennon Doyle calls it your representative, like who's the representative you're choosing to represent you in the world. And you know,
Yeah.
it's almost like a disguise. And
Yeah.
and isn't it funny that we feel the most loved when we have a raw, open, honest conversation about how we feel
Yeah.
and what's going on for us. So it's always a journey.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
what parting words would you like to leave for this continuous journey for us all?
Keep loving yourself, keep, tapping into what's true for you, honoring those feelings, and just, know your worth, and just question it if you're feeling vulnerable and speak about it, kind of talking about how you're feeling is the first step, because there's going to be people there that one believe in you more than you believe in yourself, and those are the people you should be hanging around with. You're one of your five. So if your environment and you're around people that are constantly negative talk, kind of self-pity, kind of wallowing in themselves, then naturally that's going to have a knock-on effect on you and how you show up and how you speak and how you act. And it's really, really powerful. So it's just about kind of, keep tapping into that inner belief in yourself, and really kind of honoring those needs and those boundaries, like we talked about, the values, and doing the journaling. And there's lots of visualizations on YouTube that you can Google, and it's just about taking that first step to just honoring who you are and owning
Yeah,
it.
definitely. Yeah, and I think it's it's thank you for that. It's that being unapologetic. I think for me is always that it's who
Yes,
you are
yes.
unapologetically. And
Totally. Do not worry about what anybody else thinks of you, because what anybody else's perception of you has so much more to do with how they feel about
yeah,
themselves. So it's like, even when we judge others, we are really judging
yeah,
ourselves. So, like, kind of, so if other people are judging you and quick to say, who are you? Or you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be showing up. Who do you think you are? Don't make it about you. Do not make it about you. Project love and energy to that person and send them love, but do not, choose to take that personally, because will they matter in 5 weeks' time, 5 years' time?
mm,
But, it's not going to matter. So don't, put your energy into something that's kind of bringing you down, and just tap into your truth, your inner knowing. And if you're struggling with that, then reach out to people that can and love you and support you, to kind of really, empower that self-love back into yourself.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. It's honestly, it's do. I think it from my perspective, it's doing it your way, even if
Yes.
people don't understand that. But then no one's really going to understand what you're going through. You can share as
No.
much as you like, but it's about coming from your way, your perspective, and raising your awareness and being conscious about
Yes.
choosing, you know, what you're doing, who you're spending time with, how you feel about yourself. And like you said, you know, if it feels confusing, or if it feels like, you know, you feel like you're always making the wrong decision, or you're feeling confused or stuck, that's the time to reach out for help and ask for help, whether
Yeah.
it is to have a conversation with a friend or a professional, or, you know, a coach or a mentor, or, you know, whoever that might be for you in your life. And And that kind of takes me nicely on to I'll ask you in a minute how people can find you as well, so you can share that if people are interested in
Yeah.
hypnotherapy or to find out about your body empowerment work. I know you've got a workshop coming up, and I wanted to remind
Yeah.
people, like, this is why I do my work. It's about doing things your way. It's about, there's not one person out there for everyone. We all have different
Yeah.
superpowers. We can all help each other in a different way. And that's why I love doing this work. It's why I set up my Discover Shine course, which is like, it's crazy good. It's like 6 bite-sized videos, because not everybody has the time. Time is so precious for
Yeah.
us to want to,
Yeah.
we want so badly to change something for ourselves, and yet we feel like we haven't got the time. Well, this is your excuse to not need to have the time. I'm not letting you off. Like, if you
Love
want to
that.
change something for yourself, then you do it. You can do it this way. This is a starting point. So I've created this course. It's called Discover Shine. It's like helps you feel unstuck. It helps you get from stressed to relieved, to start choosing to do things your way. So if you feel like you're kind of in that hamster wheel where work is making no difference, where your input isn't important anymore,
Yeah.
or where you don't feel like you can honor your body, and you feel like you want to feel good, you want your insides to match your outsides. People might be
Yeah.
telling you you're doing an amazing job, but you just don't believe it. People are telling you that you
Yeah.
feel, oh God, you're so confident when you do that thing, but you don't believe it.
Huh.
If you don't believe
Yeah.
it, that's what matters. And this is what that course is about. It's that stepping stone to getting you to start
Yeah.
believing what you want to believe about yourself. And so it's
Yeah.
6 bite-sized videos. They're all under 10 minutes, so you could do it in 40 minutes if you wanted to. And there's a workbook as well. So what you talked about journaling. I had a self-love chat with somebody the other earlier today, and she's this gorgeous yoga teacher, massage therapist. She's just become a mom. She's a new
Lovely.
mom, and so she does the meditation, she does the yoga, she sees the value in it. And we were talking about writing out your vision, and she was like, I've not
Yeah.
written it before. I've always done the visualizations and I've not written it before. And I was like, these things make a difference. Try it, see what
Yeah.
works. So I've
Yeah.
created a gorgeous workbook as well, and giving you really practical tools and tips to change your life, how you want to change it, to get from stuck or
Yeah.
stressed to relieved, doing it your way. So you get to keep them, you
Yeah.
get to choose them, you get to do it your way. And it's only bloody £29, because
That's
I
amazing.
don't want
That is
price. I know,
amazing.
and
That is
it's probably,
amazing. I bet it's not going to be that much for much longer,
I
is
might
it?
change it in the future, I might not, because you know what? I don't want price to be a thing for people either. Like, not
Yeah.
everybody can afford or wants to invest in premium one-to-one coaching. And,
Yeah.
and it's like when I was when I was so stuck and I was so stressed and I didn't have the confidence and I didn't have self-esteem and I didn't have like a way out, like I had this fog, I would have wanted someone to, if I'd had somebody to come and show me the way in a simple, easy way as a stepping stone to know that I can change something in my life, then I would have grabbed it. And that's why I just don't want it to be, I don't want there to be any excuses. I want you to change what you want to change in your
It's
life.
amazing.
So for now, it's
Deal.
£29. It's, the value is probably about 250 quid, but I want it. I want people
Absolutely.
to have it. And it's also, there's a few spaces left still in my new private membership group, my Facebook group. Hey, Gail, in my private Facebook membership group. So if you buy the Discover Shine course, you can have access to that for 3 months for free. So there's some great
Wow.
bonuses in there. I'm going to put the link in below. I want you to feel empowered. I want you to feel confident. I want you to have a good life, and I want you to live your dreams. Like it, I want you to do that. So it's your choice. You can take that for £29 as a starting point if you wish. And I know that, so I'll put that link below. If you want to have, join me and yourself in the self-love chats, whether it's on here or as a live interview, then let me know, message me about that. And if you'd like to have a private self-love chat, that would be part of my research, then let me know about that as well. I'll post that link as well. And Sam, thank you so much for joining us.
My
It's been
pleasure.
lovely. As Jen said earlier, it's an amazing conversation to be having. Gail, I know you're coming in. I
Yeah.
hope you're well. You can have to go back. We're finishing now. So if you want to go back and listen to what we were talking about with body, love, and health, then feel free. Let us know what you think. And how can people get hold of you, Sam, if they want to know more about your work and what you do?
Yeah, well, I've got a Samantha Collison page. So if you just put in Samantha Collison, you'll find me
Mm-hmm.
there. I hang out there. I do some of my videos and things like that. I've also got my website. I've done a really kind of funky new website page for just like my
Oh,
hypnotherapy
cool.
services. And that is www.samanthacollisonhypnotherapy.co.uk. And that's just a really simple page because I knew that I'm updating my website at the moment, and it was just I just wanted something simple that people could go to and go, right, okay, this is my prices, this is what I do, this is why I do it, and it's very, very simple. So you can find me there. Or yeah, if anybody's in the area this Saturday, I'm doing my Stand Proud with Love workshop in Essex. So yeah, just inbox me and message me about that. But I'm really excited about
It's
that.
going to be amazing. Oh, I wish you so much love and good vibes for it. Brilliant. Thank you so
Bless
much.
you. Thank
Kelty, thank you
you.
so much for watching.
Thank you.
And yeah, we will speak soon. Thank you.
Bless you. Thank you so much for having
Oh, you're
me.
welcome. See you
Mwah.
soon, Sam. Bye.
Bless you. See you later.